India has not ever been an easy country to understand. Perhaps it is too deep, contradictory, and diverse. Continuing the dynasty started by her father, Nehru, Indira Gandhi was a critical figure in history during the 20th century. As a leading political figure, Indira Gandhi was responsible for many controversial actions while helping to modernize India. However, she also incited much conflict between religious groups. Gandhi is also known for introducing economic reform and population control in India. However, in her efforts to further these programs, she often resorted to authoritarian rule, which led to conflicts. Although her critics often viewed Indira Gandhi as a dictator, she was seen as a heroic leader to many others.
She was extremely well loved. I remember as a child, she visited our school once way back. This is when I was about 11. It was amazing. It wasn't just the people of our school who came out to see her, but from all the surrounding rural areas, thousands of people who came in.
Indira Gandhi was born into the wealthy Nehru dynasty, which made many important decisions for the Indian government. Her father was an outspoken politician in the Indian independence movement, who later became the first Prime Minister of India in 1947. He impacted young Indira. While she attended the University of Oxford, she became a member of the radical pro-independence India League. In Europe, she met Feroz Gandhi, a man active in politics. After studying, they both went back to India. Indira's marriage to Feroz was controversial because Feroz was Zoroastrian and Indira was Hindu. In addition, this was not an arranged marriage, which was unusual in India.
Despite being a mother and a wife, Gandhi became Nehru's first lady, a position she disliked because she was away from her husband Feroz, who was busy campaigning for the Indian Communist Group. During her father's administration, and in spite of his disapproval of his daughter getting into the nasty game of politics, Indira Gandhi ran for president of the Congress Party, which she won easily.
She was a figure of great interest because at a time when few women, almost no women, were in government at that level, she was the prime minister. Now, the fact that her father had been prime minister was why she was prime minister. It wasn't as if she had risen up through politics in a country like that on her own.
In 1960, Indira's husband, Feroz Gandhi, passed away. Indira was deeply affected by his death. She later stated, "I was actually physically ill. It was as though somebody had cut me in two." After serving her term as president of the Congress Party, Gandhi resigned due to the death of Feroz. After Nehru's death, Lal Bahadur Shastri became India's prime minister. Unfortunately, in 1966, he died of a heart attack. Indira Gandhi ran for prime minister immediately, and she won the election. India had suffered a lengthy drought, bringing with it food shortages and serious famine. Inflation was making the rupee, the Indian currency, worthless.
It's just not under control. I mean, that is to say, they grow enough food. Are they sending it around where it's needed? Will they have to keep importing? The prices of food are rising.
Gandhi began an agriculture program that took advantage of scientific advances in fertilizers and seeds. This program, the Green Revolution, had one goal. This was to feed India.
The thing that people will remember is the fact that she intuitively understood the importance of poverty alleviation, both politically and administratively.
India, of course, has huge urban slums because the combination of small landholdings and the oppressive population means that a lot of people have to move off the farms and into the cities. India needs a kind of agriculture revolution.
A nation's strength ultimately consists in what it can do on its own, and not in what it can borrow from others. In 1971, India found itself at war with Pakistan, over the territory of eastern Pakistan.
But a lot of men might die.
It's the price of the freedom.
For what freedom? Not yours.
It's mine, yes, my country, Pakistan.
India won that war, and as a result, East Pakistan became the independent nation of Bangladesh.
Instrument of surrender was signed in Dhaka at 16:31 hours Indian Standard Time by Lieutenant General A. Nazi on behalf of the Pakistan Eastern Command.
This showed Gandhi's strength and leadership.
Gandhi, has this great background and the rest, and she's an enormously able woman. I have great respect for what she is. She's tough.
Forgiveness is a virtue of the brave. On June 12, 1975, everything changed for Indira Gandhi. The Indian Supreme Court declared Gandhi's 1971 election results invalid. She was found guilty of dishonest election practices. She was poised to lose her position as Prime Minister. After rallies around India for Indira, the ruling was changed. A justice stated that Gandhi could stay in office but could not vote in Parliament. This left Indira powerless. To stay in power, Gandhi had a cabinet member look through the Indian constitution to find loopholes. The member found an article which stated that, in the case of a state of emergency, the Prime Minister takes complete control of the country. The President of India called for a state of emergency, and Gandhi's government had complete control of the country.
People tend to forget their duties, but remember their rights. After Gandhi declared a state of emergency in 1975, she became a dictator and abolished basic rights and freedom. She tried to set up the 20-point plan, bringing India into the 20th century. Crime was down in all areas. India thrived, but the political opposition did not think that the results were worth the loss of basic freedoms. After 2 years, the state of emergency came to an end. In 1977, Gandhi lost her bid for re-election to the Janata Party. The new government launched an inquiry into Gandhi's abuse of power. Gandhi refused to attend any of the questionings. On October 3, 1977, Indira Gandhi was arrested at her home. A judge dropped the charges against her for insufficient evidence, and the day after her arrest, she was released from jail. The Janata Party wanted to disgrace Gandhi, but Gandhi came out of the ordeal more popular than ever. Within 2 years, Gandhi was back leading the country. You cannot shake hands with the clenched fist. Operation Blue Star, an operation to remove Sikh separatists who were amassing dangerous weapons in the Golden Temple, was an event that is still remembered by Sikhs today. The Golden Temple is a religious shrine for Sikhs in India. The Sikhs were, and still are, a minority group of India that has poor relations with Hindus. The highest concentration of Sikhs are located in the state of Punjab. In order to weaken Sikh opposition, Gandhi imposed a 36-hour curfew on the state of Punjab. All means of communication and public travel were shut down.
As a result, the outside world receives a biased, one-side view of what goes on in Punjab because the Indian government has control over most of the domestic media. This contributes to the stereotype that all Sikhs are extremist radicals who are terrorizing the predominantly Hindu nation, and that is just not the fact.
After the curfew on the night of June 5, 1984, Indira Gandhi ordered the army to storm the Golden Temple and take full control over it. Tragically, during this process, almost 600 people were killed. Some of the casualties included innocent bystanders. The aftermath of the operation was bitter. A number of the Sikh soldiers resigned from positions around India in protest. They were angry for the casualties caused by the operation.
The cries are for the death of Mrs. Gandhi and the downfall of her government. To these people, her army's storming of the Golden Temple, their holy shrine, was a brutal and unforgivable act.
If I die today, every drop of my blood will invigorate the nation. Mrs. Gandhi was killed on October 31st, 1984.
The age of Indira Gandhi is over. The woman who dominated Indian political life for more than 20 years was killed by her own Sikh bodyguards. India has once again been plunged into a political crisis.
The nanny of my children, I heard her suddenly came screaming, and I knew at once that something terrible had happened. After Operation Blue Star, my mother-in-law knew that she was going to be killed. She knew that her days were numbered.
Much religious hatred developed after Operation Blue Star between Hindus and Sikhs. After the assassination, anti-Sikh riots were triggered.
Gangs went on a rampage and just slaughtered Sikhs all over Delhi. I mean, people, men mostly, and boys. They went for the father and the sons. And it was a horrific thing. And it went on with illegal cremations and illegal killings into the 1990s.
Indira Gandhi changed India greatly in positive and negative ways. She brought India through the Green Revolution, she removed dangerous Sikh separatists from the Golden Temple, and she also brought India into a new age. However, during the process of bettering the country, she caused divisions between religious groups in India. There is not love where there is no will.